before All Out. What do we get in the show? A lot of stuff that leads into All Out, which is fine. There's no problem with that. A little bit going towards Rampage. Not bad. But as I've said before, they need some work. They need to do some work on Rampage over the next couple of months to try and find out exactly what they want to do with it. Do they want to just use it to add to their show? Or do they want to spotlight people from Dark and Elevation that will be ready to go to the show eventually? The big question. That's just me, guys. Tell me below. Now, the first match, FTR versus Santana Ortiz. Now, I got to say this. This was a bit of a rough match. If you looked at the... I'll give it to you like this. This was way better looking than Charlotte and Nia Jax. Yeah, I went there. If you've heard how bad it was with them, I don't know what is wrong with Vince trying to protect Nia Jax when this damn woman cannot wrestle. She threw, literally, Charlotte on her head, pissed her off to the point where both of them wanted to start doing actual blows in the damn ring and look totally stupid. Here, where you actually got Wheeler getting hurt legitimately, where there could be actual animosity, they made it look like there was actual animosity in the ring. These guys tried to make it look legitimate. We know Santana didn't mean to do what he did to Wheeler. We know this. That wasn't something he planned, premeditated. We know this. But when it came down to it, guys, clearly, 100%, they made this look like it was a legitimate beef where one wanted to truly hurt the other. Now, was it great? It was good. It was a good match. In the end, it was Ortiz who won, and I think it was over Dash. I think. I can't remember. I think it was over Dash, not over Wheeler. So they still have their feud, but the question is going to be where they're going to go with it, particularly that we don't know what's going to happen with Chris Jericho after Sunday. Will he still be wrestling? Or will he be still part of the Inner Circle if the Inner Circle is not disbanded now? Next, CM Punk had his moment. He was happy. He was healthy. He said to everybody, I love this. I don't know about you being bored about this. Are you getting sick of this yet? For me, this can go on forever because I love it. But then we had 2.0 and Garcia come and attack him. Then we have the Darby Allin coming out. And then we have this thing coming out. Now, before that, we had Garcia and 2.0 making it very clear, this ain't going to be about you, CM Punk. This is not going to be about you, Darby Allin. It's going to be about us. Now, I could have used this in the very beginning of this, but here's the thing. The reason I put it out of order was because it didn't need to be here. Look, I can understand what they're trying to do. It's obvious. They don't want to hurt CM Punk, and they don't want to hurt Darby Allin, and there could be some type of weird shenanigans by the time the match actually happens. That could happen. Now, when you see Sting after the fight was all over, because we did see Stinger get his moment in, Darby get his moment in, and the CM Punk get his GTS in, he made it very clear how special this was. He's going to go in the back when the match happens, and he's going to let these two just go. Fine, there's no problem with that. But having 2.0 and Garcia come out and fight these two, and yes, they will have a fight on Rampage, that's Garcia and Darby Allin, it makes you think that it's not going to be over by the time of All Out. There's going to be some shenanigans in some form or fashion, I believe. But the question is, what is the shenanigans going to equal? Will it be equaling CM Punk having some new guys by his side because he may turn heel? Or will it be that CM Punk and Darby Allin are going to team up after this and work matches instead of Sting working with Darby Allin? I'm just saying, you guys tell me below. Now, the vid pack they had for Kenny Omega and Christian was good. Wasn't bad. Also, the vid pack for MJF and Jericho was good as well. I think it was much better than the Kenny and the Christian vid pack. I think it was actually better. But that's just me. Now, Orange Cassidy versus Jack Evans. Here's the thing. We got a little bit of surprise. It's not the point of the match quality. We actually had the match end during a damn commercial. I barely caught it because usually I do look at the commercials a little bit. I turn off the sound. I'm checking over my notes to see what I've been thinking, because when these moments happen, this gives me a couple of moments to really think about what I saw, and I can add to my notes that you can see right here. You can see I got notes. Actually, this is the first time I ever did that. You want to remember, this is something that if anyone else is considering doing what I do, something you're going to need to learn yourself. That there's no way you're going to be able to remember everything offhand. Even when you write it down, you still forget something. You need notes. All of the best reviewers, I ain't one of them, has some level of notes. So while I was writing my notes, Orange Cassidy won the damn match and then got his ass beaten down and got beaten down again. And then we had Matt Hardy, then the Jurassic Express, and it was just a lot. This show had a lot of shock value in it. Now, mind you, this is what they're building into All Out, and I have to say that I'm not too fond of shock value where there's a lot of fights before or after a match, because we had several fights before the matches and after the matches, and I'm not always an opponent of it. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. In this situation, they really want to make this very important. So they're throwing a lot of fights before a match and after a match to try and hype up what's going to happen at All Out. I know a lot of people will not like it. In my case, I'm somewhere in the middle of the road. I can understand why they're doing it, but also it's a little much. Now, we had the match of Cage versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Look, I love me Brian Cage. I think he's a great talent. Powerhouse Hobbs, he's not bad. But here's the problem. When you look at the match itself and you see Hook coming down with Powerhouse Hobbs and even got in the face up to nose with a Brian Cage, he wasn't scared, even though Brian's like this and he's like this. He would get his butt whooped 7 days to Sunday. The problem was there wasn't a lot of enthusiasm with the crowd at first. In fact, it wasn't until near the end that they start hyping up a little bit more. Guys, I've said this already. They need to end this feud, because when it comes down to the end of this feud, it must end at All Out. They must end this, because the crowds are not cheering like they were before. You can hear them cheering. This is how they were when Cage finally left. They're here. They were still cheering, but in the beginning it was here, and it came up to about here. They were not enthusiastic about this match. Yes, they did the Terminator clap by the end of it. And I believe, it was Hobbs who won due to the fact of the Cage getting a very hard FTW title to the skull from a Stars. They really need to end it. It's time. It is time, guys. I'm just saying. Now, the interview with JR. And, when you see a Chris Jericho, guys, you see a guy who's managed to reinvigorate himself multiple times, and worse yet, not bad that he did it. He worked and got people to be interested in him. Hell, he got people to be interested in him with a damn list. That shows how creative and capable he is. But it shows how people in the rival company did not fully understand how to really see that he is more than what he is. And he came to AEW and reinvigorated himself again. And now we're having a match where it's career versus just knowing that he can beat somebody. People were very invested in this. They were cheering for him. They were booing because of it. They couldn't stand thinking that he could finally stop wrestling in AEW, which we know for a fact. Stop could mean either he's going to go and work with Fonzie, or he's going to be on commentary for a while if he loses, and then something will drag him back in later, which could be 6 months to 5 to 6 months later, which would be wise. He made it clear. I love you, everybody. I thank you for what you gave me. This very arena is where I started. Well, not this, I think this very arena. The arena that was nearby, or this one, he said, is where I got started. The guy who got me into where I got started, where I became really famous, is right by myself, and that's JR. I am thankful and grateful of what you've given me. But why am I doing this? I could continue. I could get any type of titles if I want. But knowing that I got beaten by a piece of shit of an MJF 3 times, no. It will always plague me. I must get this done so I can move on. And if I lose, I will go to the commentary table and I will give my best no matter what. But I'm not losing. MJF, you better bring your 10M game. 10M, well, 10M, A, 10 times. His 10M game. So 10 times the A in the game, if that makes sense. Essentially speaking, he's trying to say you better be 10 times better than what you are. You better bring your aim game. You better bring your A game 10 times over. I don't know why I botched that. You know what it could be? You know, right now in New York, guys, if you don't know, there's a tropical storm that is blowing the hell out of the building. And it's not like I'm thinking this building's going to fall over, but I've been sleeping a lot. I am an insomniac, and I don't sleep. But then, when I do sleep, it's been when it's raining and I want to get stuff done, and that's been the day or night. Ugh. Being an insomniac is so hard. It's good sometimes when you don't sleep. But then when you want to get something done, when you're not being insomniac, you sleep. But anyway, essentially speaking, he said bring your A game. Flat out. I'm alright with that. And is wondering, where is this going to be on the card? This is going to be in the beginning, which I don't think it should be. Will it be in the middle? Definitely not. But then you can't have it at the end because of CM Punk. So I don't know where they're going to put this. It could be the end of the show, and CM Punk could be the second to last. I don't know if that's the wisest thing to do. I do believe CM Punk should be the last thing they show. I would be amazed if they open with him. I don't think they should. It should be at the end of the show or near the end. I just don't know where he'll go. I don't know where Jericho will go. It's going to be very difficult. I kind of wish they didn't do it at the same time. But this is just me, guys. Tell me below. Alright, Conchi versus Penelope Forbes. A match that just seemed to stink. They're in my face. At first, it just seemed like they weren't into it at first. It didn't seem like there was any interest at first. I didn't really care that much at first. But by the time near the end, I did. Because those women busted their damn asses to make that match mean something. They worked hard. And Bunny screaming at ringside didn't really make the match better or worse. But I gotta say, they honestly worked hard at that match to try and make it mean something going into the Battle Royal for the women. And the Casino Battle Royal is going to be very interesting because at one point we had the Thunder Rosa get her ass beaten up by Jade Cargill and a Nia Rose, who both of them were staring each other down. They're in my face. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to say this right now. Nia Rose facing a Jade Cargill, I don't know if this is going to turn out well. I know people are going to say, look, Jade is good. She's going to do great. And then you say Nia Rose is, everyone knows that Nia has improved quite a lot. She's not like top tier. This is where she was right here. This is bottom of the barrel. She was near middle. She's come up a bit. I'm not saying that she's top tier. She's somewhere above, easily mid of the road to near high. This is top tier. She's right about here. Here's middle. She's somewhere in here. I'm not saying she's the greatest, but she has improved to the point where being in the main title scene is understandable. She does have her moments of botch. But I'm going to be honest here. Jade Cargill and Nia Rose may be a train wreck waiting to happen. Not because I think both of them are trash. It's because Jade Cargill is not ready. She still is not a very good wrestler. She does very big moves and a lot of theatrics, but she has not shown actual in-ring ability. And in AEW, That is a must. If she was in WWE, that'd be something entirely different. Vince would probably come on himself, saying, look at this damn woman. The abs, her titties look good, her ass look good. She's incredible. She's built like a brick chicken house, and she could be the next Chyna. And Chyna didn't need to do a lot of moves, which she did. Jade Cargill right now have no very major moves. She's not a very good wrestler. And in AEW, they want good wrestlers compared to WWE. So she still isn't there yet. Yes, she's improved a little bit, but it's not enough. And then you have Nia Rose, who is known to be a good wrestler. But dealing with someone that is that inexperienced and is going to be in a battle royal style and the casino battle royal for the women, who's going to be going up against Britt Baker if she wins compared to Statlander, I don't know if that's going to come out right. Because there's going to be a lot of women all over the place, and there's no guarantee it's going to look good. I'm just saying. I know I dragged this out, but I'm just saying. In the end, Conchi won. She did pretty well. But you wonder how bad this is going to be. Or how good it's going to be, the Battle Royal. Particularly with those monsters being in there. Now, and Anna Jay came back. She's in my face. After Conchi got a butt kick, Anna Jay comes out to protect her, and she's now also going to be in the Battle Royal, which I'll be very interested in seeing how well she's recovered. I do love me some Anna Jay. She's a gorgeous woman. Why does she have to be so young and I have to be so damn old? It's not fair. I'm just saying. Okay, what do we got here? Am I forgetting anything? All right, QT Marshall. And just in case, I don't know if I'm going to put any images in this. I may just throw it straight. Because sometimes I think I don't always need camera angles and images. I can just do it straight. So if there's any images in here, I hope you like them. If not, I hope you understand. But there will probably be images in Rampage and in Impact and going into the All Out. But Big Show beats the crap out of the Factory. QT Marshall running out of the ring because the Gun Club comes in. And then if I am putting a camera angle in, image in, you now have Billy Gunn nailing a Big Show, a Paul White as we call him, nailing his ass. And you're going, why? Why? Is it because he's going back in the ring and he can't stand him? What's the deal? What? That's an interesting question. What are they doing with the Gun Club? Why did Billy Gunn turn on Big Show? Well, I'm saying Big Show. Paul White. That's a big question. You guys tell me below what you think. My guess is because he's getting back in the ring, he's taking the spotlight from him, and he don't like it. That's why he brought the chair in and whooped him in the ass with it. Finally, the 8-man tag. Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express versus the Elite of the Good Brothers and the Bucks. This, you guys know me, I don't like an 8-man tag. I just don't. But this was a good 8-man tag for what it was. In the end, the Elite wins because they cheated their ass off. And then this is where things get interesting. You got Don Callis in the main room bringing down the cage because the cage is set up for this Sunday so it can keep everybody out and just let the ones in there do their business. They start beating the crap out of the Lucha Brothers. They start beating the crap out of Jurassic Express. They beat up on everybody. You get Christian Cage coming in and getting his ass whooped, and everyone's getting chained with handcuffs. And they're getting their butts kicked. So, the heels look strong. Maybe that's the best name for this. You don't always get that. The heels looking dominant and strong, really dominant and strong, making the deck look that stacked. Don Callis going into the back, bringing down the cage before anyone realizing it, locking them in and just beating the crap out of each other with kendo sticks, with whatever they found under the ring, and handcuffing them. It makes you think the Elite has stacked the deck so much by the time the match happens, you think the Elite's going to win. Or you think that anyone else is going to lose. I'll say this. This had a lot of shock in it. A lot of shock value. And if this was WWE, knowing full well how badly they book everybody, I say this is crap. because it won't work. Because they don't book anybody properly. They only have maybe one feud done properly. Maybe one or two. Everything else was garbage. Now here, we got a lot going on. We got Kenny Omega and Christian. That feud is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Then you got MJF and Chris Jericho, which is a great feud. Then you have CM Punk and Darby Allin. And then you throw in Garcia and 2.0. You wonder where they're going to be, and that's 3. Then you got Eddie Kingston having to deal with Miro. I didn't say anything, but Miro is going to be dealing with Eddie Kingston for the TNT title. You wonder how they're going to be building that. Then you have the FTR still dealing with Santana Ortiz. You wonder where they're going to go with that, because Wheeler still has a cut this deep. He had to wear an arm sock, a very tight arm sock, to make sure there was no cuts, no bruises, no nothing, to keep everything together. That's another feud. How many feuds is that? 5 or 6 feuds? Yeah, even Paul White dealing with QT Marshall. Now you throw in Billy Gunn into the mix. How many is that? 5 or 6 feuds that's going to be on the show, which is going to probably be about 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours. Not counting the kickoff show, is going to be 5 hours, which I don't know if I'm going to be watching, because that's a lot of content to watch. But still, that is way more than what we ever get in the WWE. And many people will say that's a little too much. Way too much content, and it seems like it's oversaturated. But I will say this. It does feel slightly oversaturated. There's a lot going on that could have been broken up. Some of it could be on Rampage. Some of it could be on the next Dynamite. But I will say at least they tried to make definitely sure that this was important. And this is just me. You guys tell me below. I hope you enjoyed this Dynamite a lot. Please leave a comment below. And I hope you enjoyed this. And I have recorded my Leia Hirsch Gump report and how I would book her in the AEW. I probably will release it on Friday. Hopefully you'll like it. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.